everyone, and thank you for joining us today for our webinar.
Thank you, Amber. And let me also thank everybody for joining us today. Today, we're going to talk about how to make sure that whichever ERP solution you're on, that it can grow as your company grows, and then specifically talk about how NetSuite does that. Moving to a new ERP is a really large undertaking. It's very risky. It costs a lot of money paying consultants to move. So you want to make sure that whatever ERP solution you move to will be the last time, or at least something you won't have to do for a very long time move again. You don't want to overpay just to stop from having to do a future transition. If you wait until you've completely outgrown your system, you're likely hurting your company because you're not able to handle business today. Make that decision to move to that next ERP before you've completely outgrown your current system. And kind of those two things together, that's why we consider NetSuite the ideal solution for growing businesses, because you can buy the features you need now, and you can later add new features as you grow. I like to say that NetSuite's the last ERP solution you'll ever need because it can truly scale with you. In the ERP world, when we talk about scaling, we consider that to be, can your ERP solution continue to function well and meet the needs of your company as you grow in both size and complexity? So when we talk about system capacity, can the servers that your software is running on and storing all your data, can it keep up as your transaction volume increases? When you're now doing 10x the volume you used to do, is that server keeping up with you? Concurrency management. Yes, you may have an ERP solution, but maybe it's integrated to a bunch of other solutions. Or maybe you do have a larger number of users and a larger number of remote users and that type of thing. Can the system manage those concurrent interactions, or is it starting to run into issues with that? And then lastly, it's system continuity. What if you have 3 or 4 different systems? Are they all being backed up on the same schedule? If you had to recover from that, could they all recover simultaneously? And if the answer to any of those are no, then we say you might have to question if your ERP solution truly has the system capacity to scale with you. Let's talk about how NetSuite handles system capacity. From a processing bandwidth, all customers running on NetSuite are running on world-class infrastructure. Next, from a throughput bandwidth, NetSuite helps us significantly because it is built for the cloud. When you put in a request for a report, and that report is running through tens or hundreds of thousands of records, all that activity is happening back on the servers, and all that's getting pushed back to you is the results of that. Next, when we get into concurrency management, NetSuite has a module called Suite Cloud Plus. This can give you dedicated capacity to handle multiple integrations and a bigger integration load, as well as things like CSV imports and scripted processes. And there's different versions of Suite Cloud Plus, so you can continue to increase that concurrency capability within the system. And then lastly, from system continuity, they're multi-location redundancy, so even if something were to happen to one data center, it could be back up and running on another data center very quickly. You are covered in the event of a failure or any other type of disaster. The other side of scale we talked about is feature capabilities. Does your ERP have the solutions needed for any size business with any size complexity? Even if it has those features, if you need to add those later, can you do that easily, or do you have to do some type of ERP deployment? Next, does the solution you have third-party solutions available? A large and growing set of third-party solutions available. Having third parties that maybe have features that are more specific for your industry or your specific type of need really helps extend the capabilities of your ERP solution. And then lastly, okay, maybe the features aren't there, so you're going to need some type of custom solution, some type of custom scripting or workflow. Is that solution not only customizable, but do those customizations easily move from release to release? Again, let's go back and talk about how NetSuite handles this. Does it have comprehensive capabilities? Absolutely. It can cover you as you get more complex, and they keep adding more features, 2 releases a year, always new capabilities. And best of all, those features are super easy to add. When you want a new feature, you just need to add it to your subscription, enable it, and you're off and running. From a third-party side, NetSuite has a very large and quickly growing partner ecosystem. Now they're building purpose-built solutions right inside of NetSuite using what we call Suite Apps. And using that, we're able to extend NetSuite capabilities even beyond what NetSuite has. And then lastly, since this was really built for the cloud, all the customizations that we do don't impact the core code. All those things move from release to release without having to redo them. So putting the above together, we say NetSuite absolutely has the feature capabilities to grow with you as your business grows and evolves. So now let's say you're inside of NetSuite and it feels like maybe you're hitting some limits inside of NetSuite, right? Well, NetSuite has what's called advanced performance monitoring. This is one way NetSuite helps you monitor your system, or you can use somebody like Craft to help monitor your system to see, hey, are there any performance issues? Do we need to make some tweaks to anything that we have in the system to make sure that it's running optimally? So first, we talked about how you can easily add features as your company grows and evolves. And the way you do that, there is a whole big enable features section inside of NetSuite. If you have a feature available in your subscription, it's available to be checked. You click these to enable, you work with your consultant to set those up, and you're off and running now. Even beyond adding to your feature list is you may change how you want to run your business over time. And here again, it's really easy just to change these with preferences. Maybe we used to allow transactions to have a date that didn't match their posting period, but as we've grown, we realized that can be problems. So now we're going to disallow that. As your business, again, grows and evolves, you can just say, yep, let's make sure this is how we transact going forward. All right, I talked about how you can have third-party solutions, and that's done through bundles and Suite Apps. Here's an example of a bunch of bundles that have been installed in this environment. One example being our AP Toolkit. So this is a way to bring additional functionality into your NetSuite solutions. I talked about how you can customize the system and then easily move those from release to release. So all kinds of things, you want to start tracking. We added a collections note field, a follow-up date field, right? This is obviously for Dunning. We added a few things. You can add any of those fields. It takes a few seconds just to add it. You can then place it anywhere you want on your form. And then again, as NetSuite does their twice-a-year releases, these fields all just come over automatically. You don't have to redo them. If, for example, over time you've added a bunch of fields and you started putting them on your customer form and it starts to get a little messy, you can just go in and customize your form, and it's very easy. But that way, as you start adding all these fields, you don't just get this mess on your screen. You keep it very professional. So as you grow, you can do stuff like that as well. And then, of course, that you can do custom reports if you're in NetSuite. And those reports also move from release to release. But some people don't realize those. You can also add menu options. So I added this Our Company menu option. And then within that, I can have like our reports, and you can put your reports there. So you can organize this so this doesn't become a cluttered mess as you grow and evolve. I mentioned at the top how you can do custom workflows to help as your business gets more complex. Here is an approval workflow. Just to kind of show you, it's very graphical. So this is a bill approval workflow. And as your business grows, you may want to add some different steps. Maybe at the start, just everything went to the controller for approval. But over time, maybe you wanted to add levels. If it's over a certain dollar amount, it needs different people to approve. It's all very easy to add that inside of NetSuite so that for running your business day to day, it's not more complex. The system's handling the complexity for you. And then same thing with scripts. They can be very useful, especially if your business has some unique processes. And again, those scripts move from release to release. So just to kind of summarize what we've been talking about today, it's really important to understand if your current system is holding you back. Not just now immediately, but also think about what's coming in the near term. Think about where you're at, where you're going to be over the next couple of years. Make sure that it's not your system holding you back from doing those upcoming strategic initiatives. Next, if it is time to move to a new ERP solution, make sure that the solution you choose is something that can grow with you. It's a big, painful, risky process moving from one ERP solution to another. You don't want to do that a bunch of times. Make sure that you're not paying a bunch of money for a bunch of features that you may not use for 5 or 6 years. We come back to our view that we think NetSuite is the best solution in the middle market. It can start off smaller with only the features you need. You can keep adding features as your business grows. You don't have to redeploy it. You can adjust it, tweak it, personalize it, customize it to meet your needs now, and those can be easily tweaked over time. No version lock worries. And really, we think NetSuite was built from the ground up to meet the needs of organizations today and organizations that grow and become more complex.